just finished reading the entire book, and my heart behind the book was that new churches would be planted all over the place. Man, I dream of just seeing gatherings, houses everywhere where worship is just filling these homes, where it's a part of everyday life. I really can see it. I really can see in our country where there's not this separation of this 1 hour, 2 hours a week where we go to a building and do this religious thing, and where instead it becomes this everyday life. And it's just happening, and God looks down and sees all these homes where people are breaking bread with one another and loving each other deeply, where they just can't wait to gather and just call upon God. And that's all they gather for, is just because they know that He hears their voice, and they gather just to break bread, and they're in tears thinking about what an honor it is to be a part of the body of Christ. And they're gathering because they love each other, and they couldn't wait to give gifts, supernatural, spiritual gifts to pour into each other, and where people actually love the leaders and the leaders serve the people, and it really can happen. I mean, I dream of it, and I believe that because it's what God wants more than anything. When I read this book, it's I really believe He's disgusted with the consumer mindset, and how when we go to church, if it meets all of these expectations of ours, rather than we're gathering as the church because we love each other, because you're my brother, you're my sister, and I want to serve you, I want to give to you, be an honor to bless you in some way. And let's figure out how to reach our neighborhood and serve them. Let's get the gospel out there, to believe that all of you have this power, and we're just raising people, maturing them, and sending them out to share the gospel in their workplaces or overseas, everywhere. I believe this can happen. I believe it's starting to happen, and we're seeing these movements in other places in the world. I'm just going, why not us? And so as you come to the end of this, I hope you don't just jump into another study now and go, okay, now what do you want to do next? But that you seriously consider, what is God calling us to do with the bride? It could be that you gathered a bunch of friends to go through this series together, and God is looking at you and saying, is this a church now? Are you going to become a church? Are you going to pursue everything that I've called the church to be? All I'm asking you to do is take this so seriously. Remember what I said in that first week about how we don't want to put limitations on what we are willing to sacrifice for His bride. Again, now that we're at the end, once again, surrender everything, saying, God, anything, anywhere, any amount of money, any amount of time, any amount of suffering for your bride. Start there, and then say to the Lord, what would you have us do?